That's a poo. That's a poo. Trust that all are well. And as we're getting this in today, you are in a healthy place, a safe place. And we are coming to you live and direct from our safe place. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us today. And of course, by us, I mean the Kemetic Aha and Sama Association. So grateful that you have chosen this time to join with us so that we have this opportunity to be with you. And so as it starts, we want to be able to maintain the kind of fun that we normally have when we're getting this on, the kind of joy that is generated from doing these practices, doing these movements, getting ourselves in alignment. So before we jump into today's session, what I want to do is give you an opportunity to know what we're going to be getting into today. As you have been seeing, if you've been with us from the start of particularly this July series, what we have done is we're picking up the intensity a little bit, and we're going just a few minutes longer. And so in that process, what we want to be able to do today is just really kind of briefly recap what we've done before, get a bow in, and then get into it so that we can begin the movement. All right, we're not going to focus in so much on the feet today because the foot placement should have been worked on. What we are going to do is to begin to focus in on the arms and hands as they relate to the ward off movement that we were practicing from our last session. So my sincere hope right now is that your Asar stance is at least 10 minutes, unless you've been doing this for a while and you know where you are or you have received specific instructions from me differently. Okay, again, you want to go as best you can. So we're going to jump in. We're going to get into our Asar stance as usual. We're going to get into our Qigong. We're going to review the ward off to the right and then that whole series of ward off to the right. As we are in the new moon phase, we're going to go through the lunar cycle of the form, the yang short form. Once we do that, then we'll get into the breathing exercise and the wisdom of the sages of the ages. So that's the primary order for the session that we have going in today's class. So just real quick to recap, we're going to get in, we're going to bow, Asar stance, Qigong. We're going to go over the yang form. We're going to do some yang exercises to build up our strength in those things. Then we're going to do the ward off to the right and the cycle of ward off to the right that I want y'all to practice while you're at home. Once we get that in, again, we're going to work on the hand placement this time because we have video that you can check out for the foot placement and how we went over the feet last session. So we're going to spend a bit more time today working on where the arms and hands are so that you can have those appropriately and correctly. Got it? Good. So once we then do that, we're going to move into, and we're going to do the moon cycle or the lunar cycle aspect of the form together. Once we've done the lunar aspect of the form, we're going to get to the alternate nostril breathing exercise. We're going to get to wisdom from the sages of the ages. And once we get to the wisdom from the sages of the ages, we'll get to our closing salutation and bow. So if you've been with us before, awesome. If you haven't, what we're going to do now is put your feet in Wu Chi position. Everybody should know what that means, what that is. If you don't know, you're going to place your feet in like a capital L, the apex of the angle, coming straight out in front of you. So hope everybody's ready. We're about to get into it. Let's get it. All right. Heels together, forming a 90-degree angle. Knees are slightly bent, bottom is tucked. Arms are relaxed at the sides. We're doing bellows breathing, jaws lightly clenched, tongue at the roof of the mouth and the soft palate. All right, here we go. 2 breaths right here. Breathe in, bring the hands into pyramid hands, like so. Thumbs crossed. All right, so now as you breathe in, you're going to shift all the way to your right leg. You're going to come up on those left toes. You're going to step to your left, heel first, a little wider than shoulders width. You're going to balance the weight 50-50 between the legs. That's our first step. You got it? Good. Now come on back, slide that left foot back in. Right back into Wu Chi. Bottom tucked. Hands here in pyramid hands. Give me 2 breaths right here. And we're going to begin by bowing, showing our mutual respect. And we say to all the masters that have gone before us, we bow. And teacher to student, student to teacher. Back into pyramid hands. Shift the weight to the right as you come up on the left toes. Stepping again to the left, wider than shoulders width, heel first. Balancing the weight between the legs as you sit down on those legs. 2 breaths right here. Using the bellows breathing. Open the hands up into the Asar Stance position. Close the eyes as we begin. Remember, you want to see the breath go down, fill the lungs, and go down past the lungs all the way into the abdomen. You want to see the legs as the roots of a tree extending down into the earth. You want to see the torso as the tree trunk. You want to see the arms as the branches. You want to see the hands as the leaves. The head is balanced on top of the spinal column, the golden thread extending up into the heavens. 4 more breaths. See if you can sit down a little lower on those legs. Into pyramid hands. Shift the weight to your right leg, slide that left foot in, back to Wuchi position. 2 breaths. You exhale, let the hands come down. Shake it out, opposite hand, opposite leg. Opposite hand, opposite leg. Very good, come back to Wuchi. Pyramid hands. Shift the weight to the right leg, stepping to the left, a little wide in shoulders width. Heel first. Balance the weight between the legs. Palms up as we go into holding the golden balls. See a ball of the golden white light like the sun in the palms of the hands. Rotate the palms only so they're parallel to the ground. Position is called oneness. The toes, the knees, and the hands are all pointing the same direction. Rabbit through the chute. Do not bring the hands higher in the center of the forehead, reaching back behind the kidneys. Now pick up the pace a little bit. KhASA out. No sound. Slow it down. KhASA out. No sound. Into oneness. All right, into the next movement. Into oneness. Right hand on top of left hand, palms up, thumbs touching. Hands are beneath the navel. Excellent. Rotate the left hand on top. Good. You want the palms facing each other. You want to be able to see a ray of ball of light like the sun in between the palms of the hands. Next in-breath, we're going to breathe into oneness. Into the turtle. Out to the drawbridge. Point the hands between the legs. Into oneness. 2 breaths. Pyramid hands. 2 breaths. As you shift the weight to your right leg, slide the left leg in as you're breathing in and out. 2 breaths. Let the hands come down. All right, you want to shake it out, opposite hand, opposite leg. Nice. Feet parallel, shoulders width. we're gathering, sinking down as you exhale, breathing in, and gather the good energy in towards the heart and lungs, and exhale, we expel what no longer serves us. Down, and we're going to bring the hands together, interlace the fingers at heart level, palms out. We're going to do this 8 times. This is raising the hands to the heavens. There we go, breathing in, up on the balls of the feet, and you exhale. Let the hands come down, and put the hands here, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. Palms are facing the head, 2 breaths. Palms forward, 2 breaths. We're going to let the arms come down and go right into swinging arms. All right, let them swing. Let them stop on their own. Don't stop them yourself. Good. All right, now we go ahead and open the chest, sinking down, and sun rises. We open the chest, and we come back. 4 more. Keep the count. And come on back and shake it out, opposite hand, opposite leg. All right, good. Feet parallel, shoulders width. Sing it down. We're gonna go right into sunrises over the mountain to sunsets. Three more. Two more. One more. Last one. All right, shake it out. Again, that's what you want to practice as well. Sunrises over the mountain, sunsets. Feet parallel, shoulders width. Now we're going to get into our ward off right and left exercises. So we're going to sink down. Sunrises over the mountain. Sunsets. Going to shift all the way to that left leg. We're going to turn to the right. All the weight is on the left leg. Toe is up on the right. Remember the hand position. The left hand is beneath the navel. Right hand is across the chest. All the weight is on the left leg. As you exhale, shift the weight to the right. Keep your feet relaxed, butt tucked. Shoulders relaxed. As you breathe in, shift the weight back to the left. Toe is up on the right. As you exhale, bring it back to the front, rotating on the heel, hands come down. Sun rises over the mountain. Sun sets. Shifting all the way to the right leg, picking up the left toes as we ward off. To the left, all the weight is on the right leg. Shift the weight to the left as you step down on the foot. Shift the weight back to the right, toe up on the left. All the weight is on the right. Rotate to the front, exhale. Sun rises over the mountain and sun sets. One more time. All right, shake it out, opposite hand, opposite leg. Okay, and that's the exercise that we do that strengthens and press the legs to do ward off to the right, ward off to the left. Strengthens both legs. All right, now, feet parallel, shoulders width. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the start of ward off to the right. We're gonna do it 3 times in a row. So that way you can get used to the pattern and the flow going from sun rises over the mountain and the ward off. And we're gonna go right from there, and we're gonna go from that flow into the lunar cycle. And then we're gonna come back, shake it out, review this piece again, talk about the hand placement, because here's what we wanna do. Your feet should be shoulders width, the outside of shoulders, like we talked about. So I'm gonna get that real quick so you can focus on the feet, so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so your feet are shoulders width for your shoulders, as we talked about. And so what's gonna happen is you're gonna shift the weight to the left leg, you're gonna pick up the right toes, you're gonna pivot. And that pivot with the butt tucked is a 90-degree angle, okay? So I want you to see here, straight and parallel, 90-degree angle through the feet, okay? And then we're moving, and that's the feet. Okay, you're gonna keep that. So that's the moving, you gotta hold that in your head. All right, now we're gonna do the hand movements with the feet movements. So again, we go sunrise over the mountain, we go sunset. You shift the weight to the left, pick up the toes on the right foot, and the hands come into play here. There you go here. Come back to the left leg, pivot to the front, and the hands come down. We're gonna try it again. Sun rises over the mountain. Sun sets. Shift the weight to the left as we ward off to the right, toe up. Shift the weight to the right, step down on the foot. And now we come back, we shift the weight to the left, pivot to the front, and we sunrise, we're right back at the starting position. All right, got it. Sun rises over the mountain and sun sets. Shift the weight, pivot. Shift the weight, step down on the right foot. Shift the weight back. Pivot on the right, come to the front. Sun rises over the mountain and sun sets. Shake it out, opposite hand, opposite leg. Opposite hand, opposite leg. All right, feet parallel, shoulders width. Now we're gonna do the lunar cycle. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna focus on where the arms are in ward off right and left. So sinking down, exhale. Inhale as we begin the cycle. Sun rises over the mountain and sun sets. Shift the weight to your left as we ward off to the right. Step down on the foot, shift the weight. You're gonna step forward with the left foot, shift the weight, pivot on the right heel. This is called grasp the bird's tail and stroke it. Gonna come forward, gonna shift the weight again, step with the right. This hand comes up in what we call roll the ball. Release it. We roll it back. We press. Back, what we call push. You pivot on that heel, you come back, step back with your left. Sun rises over the mountain and sun sets. It's a complete. One more, sun rises. Shake it out, opposite hand, opposite leg. Now that's what we do every full and new moon. We're very as close as we get during our sessions to the lunar cycle. It's not something you have to practice right now. We're going to get right back to our practice, but you want to have that energy flowing through the body so that we can move with the cosmos, which is why we're doing this. Now, I'm going to do it from this angle. I'm going to do a little closer in a minute so you can see a little better. Actually, let me get right in here. Okay, so now, zoom in a bit so you can see. So now, when you're here, you go sun rises over the mountain and sun sets. The hands are at the side, and then you shift the weight to your left. And as you shift the weight, this right hand comes across the body, and then you turn, and that brings the arms. And so that as you're turned, your hands are here. One hand beneath the navel, one hand across the body. So forward, your hands would look like this, and then you just turn and you pivot on the hips, and this is where your hands would be. Pivot on the hips, turn on that right heel, and the hands are here. And while they're there, you step down on the right foot, shifting the weight. Good. Then as you breathe in, you shift the weight back to your left. And as you exhale, you pivot to the front and let the arms fall. And then the sun rises over the mountain and sun sets. Good. Shake it out, opposite hand, opposite leg. All right, KhASA squat, simple lotus. Get to a place where you can, simple lotus, half lotus, whatever is comfortable for you. We're gonna do our alternate nostril breathing exercise here. So get where you can. Okay. So today we're gonna do the exercise called breathing as long as your arms. And again, we vary it up. We have a couple of favorites, and these are primarily done at the beginner level. And we have one that's done at an intermediate level. Today, we're going to do the beginner level again, just to remind you, this is at the beginner level, but it's because it works so much. So a lot of times when folks hear beginner, a lot of folks think it's going to be easy. And one of the things I want you to realize that what I'm asking you to do with your body is always going to be simple. It may never be easy, but it will be simple, meaning the instructions will be clear. You'll be able to perceive them and do them the way they are described. However, the easy comes with time, and I would say that it never is easy. It always is going to take work, which is why we call it Qigong, the gong part, the work on the energy. All right, so now we want to get ready. So this is called breathing as long as your arms. So with that, you want to take your right index finger and block off your right nostril. Take your left hand, extend it out here. All right, you want to keep the shoulders relaxed so the arm is straight out. You want to see it in your peripheral vision. So some of us may have the arm out here if our peripheral vision isn't very good. It's okay. We're working with each other where we are. So you want to see it looking straight ahead. Now you're going to breathe in, and you're going to follow it all the way in. You're going to go here until you're cross-eyed. And you're going to exhale. You're going to follow it out the other side. All the way out to the peripheral vision. Head stays straight ahead. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. Good. In. Out. In. Keep the shoulders relaxed and elbows down. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Keeping the arm extended. Fire breath. And bring the arm in. Out. Fire breath. Deep breath in. Bring the arm in. Out. 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 Both hands on the knees, breathing in. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Should notice both nostrils pushing and pulling. In. Out. Fire breath. Deep breath in. Chin down. Release. All right. So quick recap. One of the things that we want to focus on is Asar Stance. We have the videos on YouTube, so you can use those to keep you going in between sessions, these live sessions that you may be on, to keep you moving and keep the order of the practice going. Asar Stance, you want to build up to 10 minutes. We want to be able to do the work that we did with ward off. That's where we want to spend the time for these next sessions, because now that we're here, this month is devoted to ward off. We're going to spend the next month working through grasp the bird's tail, so that we actually have a month per movement. And then we'll have the lunar cycle, which will reinforce the fluidity of the movements twice a month for us to do together. It's not something for you to practice. It's just for you to get me to start to plant the seed for what those movements are going to be like. Okay? And so we'll spend a lot more time going forward. We have a lot of content that's available on our YouTube channel. Also, for folks that are in our specific KhASA related group, we're going to develop, as going forward, a private section so that you'll be able to retain some of the information that we talk about and until we get to a place where we can have our specific mouth to ear sessions for those students. So we're going to do some of that. It's going to be available via our YouTube for association members. We'll be starting that in September. If you have an opportunity, each Sunday, we're doing Sundays with Sabah on Instagram, just to get y'all up to date on what we're doing over on Instagram now. So that way you have an opportunity to stay in touch with us. We're basically breaking down the body and the human body and the process and the foundation, looking at some of the more academic or theoretical aspects of Tai Chi Chuan and Qigong in a literary and a way that we talk about when we have our in-person sessions, where we aren't able to necessarily get to all of that during the session, because I want to give you a bit more of movement in these sessions so that you have an opportunity to actually move the body and let the body know. Once the body gets it, you'll have an opportunity. You won't forget it, okay? What you have to do is get your brain out of the way and let your mind and your body have a conversation, and you'll remember the movements. That's why we move slowly. We're retraining the body. And I'm going to go into parts of that on this Sunday's Instagram, where at 3 p.m. Pacific time, where we'll be going live. I'll take questions as well, but we're going to talk about the subtle bodies that are utilized in terms of healing and in terms of self-defense practice, aha, mantu practice. The subtle bodies, both from an African, specifically Kemetic perspective, the subtle bodies, and then the subtle bodies that relate to healing as it relates to the Indian and the Taoist Chinese healing perspective. So that way we have an opportunity to get a fuller understanding. The first session that we did was Sundays with Sabah. We talked about breath. We talked about ways of knowing, and we introduced folks to bellows breathing, so that now the folks know how to breathe and they understand that everything builds off of the breath. So this last session that we did, what we talked about was nutrition. And we did that through the concept of fasting. And so that's actually still up on our Instagram now. I think both of those are up. You have an opportunity to check in with those and engage with us. So now we're going to get to what we call the wisdom from the sages of the ages, and we're utilizing the teachings of Ptah. And we talk about the ages. This is the world's oldest complete wisdom book. It was revised in 3200 BC. So, all right, so here we go. Clear the mind. Excellent. This comes up frequently for us. Okay, so if you plow and if there is growth in your field and God lets it prosper in your hand, don't boast to your neighbor. One has great respect for the silent person. A person of character is a person of wealth. If that person robs, they're like a crocodile in the middle of the waters. If God gives you children, don't impose on the one who has no children. Neither should you decry or brag about having your own children. For there is many a father who has grief, and many a mother with children who is less content than another. It is the lonely whom God nurtures, while those with family pray for a follower. Teachings of Ptah. All right, so now We received our wisdom from the sages of the ages. Want to remind all of you to definitely practice Asar Stance. Want to get up to 10 minutes at least every day, every day. There's a quick way if you go on to our YouTube that gets you into the position. So you can check your body mechanics against that, and your body architecture against that. You all know what the meditation is, the tree meditation, so you can do that. 10 minutes on that with the meditation. So if you only got 5 minutes with the meditation now, you got a 5-minute Asar Stance. Just want to get that clear. Okay, sometimes it may take 15 minutes to do 10. So just be clear on what I'm talking about. 10 minutes with the meditation, not 10 minutes in the position. The other thing we want to review is that today we went over the exercise for ward off to the right, and we want to be able to flow smoothly through that. As we flow smoothly through that, that preps us and gets us into repetitive cycle so we're ready for the next movement, which will be Grasp the Bird's Tail, which will begin during our August series. Okay? We want to be able to give folks, as you'll see, yes, it's 4 weeks, and I know it's not like a Kung Fu movie where you're going to learn the whole form in 6 weeks and be able to go kick ass. I get that, but I need you to understand that we're doing it this way for a reason, and we're really moving really fast. So don't feel as if you're lost. What I want to do is we have a mixture of people who are coming and joining us at different levels. So we want to be able to have an opportunity for us to move together. All right. And I'm going to put, I think the whole form is up on the side of me doing it to the right. And if not, I think I'm going to redo it this week so that folks have access to what it looks like for us when we do the short form to the right. So with that, I'd like to do is to say, bow out, and we say together to all the masters that have gone before us, we bow. Right over left, and we say teacher to student, student to teacher, and we give honor and respect to the ancestors and the witnesses of the earth and the sky. Ashe. And I say to you, enjoy the rest of your day and your time. Thank you for choosing to participate and work with us at the Kemetic Aha and Sema Association. I thank you for joining us, but most of all, I thank you for your presence, for you are sharing the gift of your time and your attention with us. Thank you.